Before I was an Avenger, I made mistakes. And a lot of enemies.
His call sign's Taskmaster. He controls the Red Room.
I should have come back for you. How many others are there?
Enough.
We have to go back to where it all started. So they never do that to anyone again.
We're a family. We fight with you.
You won't win. I've always found it best not to look into the past. Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are. I made my choice. I'm done running. Here's what's gonna happen.
Natasha, don't slouch.
I'm not slouching.
You're going to get a back hunch.
Listen to your mother.
Oh my God, this.
Up.
All right, enough. All of you.
I didn't say anything. That's not fair.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Black Widow video. They just announced some early screening details. This is crazy plan that Disney and Marvel have, and it's all to do with sports, believe it or not. I'll also talk about what's going on with Taskmaster, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Thunderbolts, Thunderbolt Ross. So we'll break it all down. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll do a new Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave all your predictions for the Black Widow movie on the video. So first things first, if you didn't see the news yesterday, there was this giant announcement that Disney and the NBA made because the NBA is getting ready to restart their season. Like a lot of other major sports, they had to stop their season because of the virus. So because the NBA is losing hundreds of millions of dollars, they want to find a place where they can safely play the rest of their season in a self-contained sort of environment. So Disney naturally says, we have Disney World. Please bring all of the NBA teams that are going to participate down here. We'll put you up. We have this giant sports facility. We have all these hotels. We have this giant resort that all your families can live at. So Disney is finalizing negotiations with the NBA to bring as many of the league teams are going to be part of this season to Disney World. They're basically going to be playing their season from July 31st to October 31st. That's when the NBA finals are supposed to end later this year. But everyone was reporting yesterday that as part of Disney trying to sweeten the deal because they would make a lot of money if the NBA hosted events at Disney World. They want them to come to Disney World. They're offering to screen Disney movies way before they ever hit theaters for the NBA, their families, everyone that's going to be staying at Disney World during this period between July 31st and October 31st. For instance, this reporter is saying, and this is accurate, per Walt Disney sources, Disney will make movies available for players and their families once they bring the league down to Disney World. This is likely to include movies that have not been seen or released to the general public, including Marvel's Black Widow, which is currently being released in theaters in November. So number 4, now everyone's Googling how to become an NBA player because it does sound like Disney is going to lock down the NBA and they will wind up doing this crazy plan to play out the rest of the NBA games all at Disney World. But it's not like you actually have to be drafted into the NBA and become a player just to watch Black Widow early. You could be one of their family members, you could be someone who works for an NBA team. So if you know anybody in the NBA and you live somewhere near Florida in Disney World, there's a pretty solid chance you could actually see Black Widow early. Everybody's suddenly calling in every single favor that they have with anybody that's associated with the NBA. Even though they just mentioned the Black Widow movie screening early, it would be pretty much every movie that Disney has that's getting ready to screen around this time period that the NBA will be there. So they could wind up screening Marvel's Eternals a little bit early for them too, because that's going to be Marvel's February movie next year, just because everything got moved down the bench because Black Widow got bumped. But number 3, getting back to actual Marvel stuff, the Black Widow movie, Marvel Phase 4, the Taskmaster character, Within the plot of Black Widow, which is taking place after Captain America Civil War, but before Avengers Infinity War, Taskmaster has sort of rebooted the Red Room and is now running it himself. Remember that scene in Avengers when Loki is taunting Black Widow and he starts reading her all those terrible things that she's done, all the red on her ledger, and he calls her Dreykov's daughter? Dreykov is actually the Russian general in these flashbacks that Melina is talking to in the Red Room here. So he was the one that was in charge of the Red Room, but within the context of the MCU, he was the person that took Natasha in after her biological family died and gave her to the Red Room. So even though most of the movie is taking place right after Captain America Civil War, some of the movie will address her distant past, her origins, her childhood. Thanks to Scarlet Witch's powers, we got a little bit of that during Avengers Age of Ultron, but that just touches on a little bit of the different types of training she went through and her quote-unquote final exam. The whole reason why she's in Russia during the Black Widow movie is because she finds out that they restarted the Red Room program and they're going to take it way bigger than they ever did before. It's going to come back with a vengeance because of what Taskmaster is doing. So unless they are pulling a really cool fast one on us, Taskmaster, for the most part, is the main villain of the Black Widow movie. And the whole idea is that he sort of throws the Avengers in her face because he can copy all the Avengers' moves. Like, even though technically Black Panther isn't an actual Avenger yet, you see him copying Black Panther's moves with what it looks like replicas of his vibranium claws. We don't know if this is actual vibranium that he has on his claws here, but it's implied that it is because of all the black market vibranium trade that we've seen in the MCU so far. Thank you very much, Ulysses Claw. Remember he said he had a buyer for some of the vibranium that they stole out of the museum? It could have been Taskmaster that bought that vibranium. He's even got some straight-up Spider-Man moves, so that lets you know how close to Captain America Civil War this is taking place, because he's basically watching a lot of the Avengers highlight reels just to learn all their moves. Number 2, the reason why this is so big for Marvel Phase 4, even though the movie set in the past, is because of the Taskmaster character and Thunderbolt Ross. Why would you put Thunderbolt Ross in a movie if it didn't have something to do with what's going on in present day? And he did not get into any fights during Captain America Civil War himself. This is what he looked like. His hair had streaks of black in it. Why does he look so different in these shots here? It's totally possible that this has something to do with what's going on during Falcon and Winter Soldier, and this will lead in to the rebooting of the Super Soldier program. The whole idea being that he's sort of a parallel for the Taskmaster character, because Taskmaster is doing all these shady things with the Red Room program and the new Black Widows in Russia, but because the synopsis of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is that someone restarts, quote-unquote, the Weapons Plus program that we saw Thunderbolt Ross messing with during Incredible Hulk, he's putting together a version of a team that he can control, because now that the Avengers are kind of on hiatus temporarily, even though there are Avengers that are still alive, still out there, only Iron Man and Captain America have been benched, so to speak. It's going to be a while before the Avengers reassemble again for Avengers 5. So obviously there's threats that need to be dealt with. Thunderbolt Ross is on the World Security Council. He's basically the president's #1 man for stuff like that. So he needs something to take care of that threat. That's where the Thunderbolts come in, a team that he can control and he can jack up with the Weapons Plus program. Even though most of the Weapons Plus program stuff that we've seen in the MCU has to do with the Super Soldier program, it's not all about that in the comics. Each different iteration of the Weapons Plus program gets some different type of treatment to try and enhance them. Really good example of that is when they got to Weapon 10, Weapon X, Wolverine in the comics, they didn't give him the Super Soldier Serum. He already had mutant powers. They just grafted the adamantium to his skeleton to make him relatively indestructible. So number 1, WTF, the whole idea here being that even though Taskmaster is the main villain of the Black Widow movie, this will carry forward into Marvel Phase 4, because the whole idea is that we're in Marvel Phase 4, pushing the story forward of the Avengers, but because present day is in 2023, you have to have some sort of time jump to sort of address what happens after the events of the Black Widow movie. So early post-credit scene or ending of the movie theory, this actor we know is playing the Taskmaster character. That's what he looks like underneath the mask. Thunderbolt Ross will find him and recruit him for a future Thunderbolts team. And even though Marvel hasn't formally announced a Thunderbolts Disney Plus series or a Thunderbolts movie, they'll probably wait for a couple years before doing something like that, slowly build the team out the same way that they did for the first Avengers movie. It took them about 4 years to get to that first Avengers movie. So everyone just post all your theories in the comments below. How will the Black Widow movie affect what's going forward in Marvel Phase 4, especially with the Disney Plus series, and because Falcon and Winter Soldier is literally going to start dropping in the fall before the Black Widow movie starts. While you wait for everything, click here for my brand new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 teaser video and that new Miles Morales Spider-Man PS5 trailer. and click here for my brand new Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.